My name is Rick, and I live in Portland currently. And I'm originally from Michigan. I was born in Upper Michigan, and then I lived in Traverse City most of my adult life. I moved to Portland in the winter of 2008, and I wanted to make a change. And apparently the rest of the country was changing too, because that was sort of the beginning of our recession. I've worked and volunteered, but I'm also a student, and I'm currently working on my master's in creative writing, and I just started a program this summer. What I hope to do is write short stories, memoirs. I also enjoy writing fiction a lot, but creatively I'm starting with sort of creative nonfiction in the memoir genre, yeah. Hmm. Well, it's interesting and it's challenging. I feel like I'm going to be 53 on September 2nd, and these past few years I feel like I've been doing and being more the kind of person I want to be. And if you were brought up in the Midwest, I had a pretty good upbringing overall. You sort of had that tendency to always want to do the right thing or do what was expected of you. So I'm trying to do what I want to do. And you'd think that would sound easy, but it's harder than you think. I came out to my friends when I was 26 or 27, and that's when I was living in Traverse City. And I did it gradually, but once I came out, then I was just out, you know. But I did not come out to my family until I was like 40. Yeah, so there's a big gap. The age between when I first came out to my friends and when I came out to my parents, I think there was a lot of growing up that I still had to do, and also probably on my family's side too, particularly my parents. And a lot of it didn't have to do with, you know, whether they're accepting of gays and lesbians or not. It had to do kind of within the dysfunction of our family. And between those two times, a lot of good things happened. And although I wish it could have happened a lot earlier, when I think about it, I really feel like it was kind of the time that it was meant to be when I came out, you know. I became a healthier person, you know, emotionally. My father quit drinking and became a much better person. So by the time I came out, it was the right time, and then I just did it. It was surprisingly good. It really exceeded my expectations. Probably like a lot of gay kids, particularly sons, I went through my mom first, and you know, and mom always talks to dad, right? So she did that, and then we talked for a long time on the phone. But then after she talked to my dad, they both wrote me a letter, and it was really cool. It was very accepting. And then from there, I proceeded to write a letter to each of my siblings, and I have four. So I wrote one to each, and they were pretty specific to my relationship with them. And I got responses back from all of them, and they were all great. You know, they basically said, you know, that they love me the way I am, and they didn't matter to them really. So, but the thing is, if I had tried to imagine that as a 26-year-old when I first came out to my friends, I just couldn't imagine that kind of response that I got when I came out to my parents when I was, you know, 40, you know, more mature. It would have been like inconceivable for me. It's probably one of the most important things that I've ever done, actually, you know. And it just brought my family and I closer together. And I'm really glad for that because my father passed away 2 years ago. So, you know, particularly the last like 12 years were really great. You know, we're very close. So, you know, it's never too late to come out, and it's never too late for things to get better. I encourage it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I have to say I'm pretty middle of the road underneath it all. Um, and, I respect everybody's approach, but I'm not militant per se. I just try to exist like in the different communities I'm in, but I don't try to hide myself anymore. Most of the time I find that people are very receptive. And surprisingly, like when I go back to like my hometown or even in northern Michigan when I'm around older people who you think would be, not as, you know, um, liberal or accepting, but as people, they're very accepting. So, but I think it's a good thing to do, and I just try to live my life and be straightforward. And I think I can't even think of any negative experiences that I've had, by being that way. I think I've been pretty lucky. Yeah.